What's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to Techie Media. Today I'm going to teach you how to install and basically start designing your WordPress website offline. So no need for hosting, no need for domain. This can completely be done on your laptop offline with a software known as Xampp. Now, Xampp is a cross-platform localhost server. It can run on both Windows and Mac OS. We have WAMP for Windows PC and MAP for Mac OS, but Xampp can run on both Windows and Mac OS, even Linux. The process are going to be very similar, but I'm going to focus on just Windows because that's the OS I'm currently running on. Alright, so the nice thing about Xampp is that you can install WordPress, you can install themes, you can install plugins. It also connects to WordPress repository, and you can basically just do everything as you would do it with an online hosting. So the nice thing about doing this offline is that you can just get your design done, and when you're satisfied with how everything looks, you can then purchase an online hosting and domain, then transfer everything or migrate it over to your hosting and domain. You can also use this for your own practice or little projects or anything that you want to use it for. Okay. But today we'll be concentrating on setting up WordPress on Xampp and start the process of designing your first website. Alright, let's go. And so the very first link, actually, just download Xampp. Click on Xampp download, then look for the latest. Just as I said before, you can use it for Mac OS, you can use it for Linux, Windows, and others. So I'm just going to download the one for your machine. I'm just going to look for the latest version of Windows and click on download the 64-bit Windows, which is this one. So I'm just going to click on download, and then you can just start the process of downloading your system, your Xampp. So I'm not going to repeat this process because I've already installed it on my system. So I'm not going to go through all the process of downloading it again and installing it. But it's actually quite easy because it's just when you click on the software, you can just click next, and you are good to go. It actually takes time for you to do, but just the basic way of installing software, that's what you are going to do. So when it is installed, you have a Xampp folder created on your local drive. So as you can see here, it created a folder on your local drive. So when you install it, that's in your C drive. That's what you're going to create a Xampp folder for you. So when you open it, and all the things you need for your website are going to be inside this particular folder, the htdocs folder. All your instances, everything you need you are going to put it here. All your themes, your plugins, everything is going to be installed. All the files you basically need actually is going to be installed inside the htdocs folder. So now let's just run Xampp. So I'm just going to type in Xampp control panel. So this is how it looks like when you download your Xampp. So how it actually works is if you open a new tab and you type in, let's say, localhost. How you actually do this, you type in localhost / then the name of your website. But since we have not actually copied any WordPress folder into our Xampp and htdocs folder, we are just going to run it like this. So when you run it, nothing will actually run, like you won't see anything. No action was going to happen because we did not put the server on. All right. So what you have to do here, when you open your control panel, there are two things you need to start. The first is the Apache. The Apache server helps you run your PHP files. Okay. So you start that one, then you're going to need to start your MySQL database server as well. Xampp actually needs my Apache and MySQL. It needs the PHP files and a database to actually work properly. So when you rerun the localhost on that tab you opened, as you can see, yes, you actually have the welcome page of Xampp. So meaning that the two servers is actually working fine. It's working the way you want it's supposed to be. So we can move forward. So let me just open a new tab and type in wordpress.org. So now what we want to do is to download the latest version of WordPress. Okay, so I'm just going to click on get WordPress. I'm just going to download the latest version. We are 5.6. I'm going to click okay. So what I'm going to do is, for me not to get confused, I'll open the Xampp folder on my C drive and open the htdocs folder. I'm just going to open a new folder and let's say cool site. Yes, cool site. Okay, so this is going to be the URL of your website that you want to create. So it's going to be localhost / cool site, and then it's going to open up your website. So in this cool site folder, I'm just going to save in these WordPress files. So once it's done, I'm just going to open it and extract everything. Extract here. So once it's done, let me just delete this. So, but the problem with this is that if you have to leave it like this, what you need to do is you have to say localhost / another / then WordPress before you actually get to these WordPress files, and you don't want that. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy all the files inside the WordPress folder. I'm just going to cut it and paste it inside this cool site and paste it over here. Then let me just delete this WordPress here. Delete this one, and now we have our WordPress files ready, but we need a database for WordPress to work properly, to actually work. So what you do is you go back to your control panel, and under my SQL, you click on the admin button. You click on it, it's just going to basically open a new tab and open a PHP admin tab. So what you do is click on database and create a new database called cool site. So CI, okay, and so I'm just going to click on create. As you can see, it has created a database, a cool site database. So we need to connect both of them together. So what you're going to do is, I'm just going to open a new tab and type in, I'm just going to say localhost / cool site, okay, and hit enter. So if we hit enter, we are going to trigger the files we installed. As you can see, everything went quite smooth as we expect. We have the two server running properly. We have our WordPress working fine because they are working fine. So we copied our WordPress file into our Xampp folder and Xampp folder into the htdocs folder. Then we created our cool site folder. So this means that everything is working properly. So once you're here, you just choose your preferred language. Mine is going to be English, and click on continue. So it's going to need some information about you so that for it to work properly. First, it's going to need the database name, database username, the password, the database host. So with Xampp, it works a bit differently. But if you are on an online hosting, it's going to need more details than just this to actually work properly. So let me just do let's go. So our database name is going to be the database we choose when we are creating a PHP file. So the cool site. So our database name is cool site. So I'm just going to put cool site. So that's going to be our database name. You don't want to get it wrong. So let me clean this. Then the username is going to be root. It's always root. So for some reason, so the password is going to be left empty. It's going to be left blank. The database localhost is localhost. Then the table prefix WP underscore. So, but I'll prefer you change this to whatever you want it to be. So you can just change it, or you can just leave it like that. But if you change it, you just add a little bit more security to your database. So it doesn't make your tables more prone to hacks. You understand? Okay. So if you change it, you can change the table prefix to actually make it a little bit hard for
for hackers to hack your database. So database name, COSA, username is root, password is empty, database host is localhost, table prefix is whatever you want it to be, but don't forget the underscore whenever you type in. And so let me just click submit, and that's it. We have now successfully input all the information we need. So let me run the installation. So now we are going to need the information for your website. So the site title, cool site. The username is going to, let me just leave it cool site, and the password is, let me just leave it like this as it is, but make it as strong as possible if you want it. So your email address is going to be an admin email address. If you put your email address, it's going to be the admin. So you make sure. So I'm just going to put anything here. Let me just leave it like this. It's dummy actually, but when you're creating yours, make sure it's an admin, because so that you can actually access it. Then for offline websites, you don't actually need to worry about the search engine visibility because you are just in the design phase. But if you're actually going to migrate this website, you need to uncheck this, because Google is not going to actually index your site for search engine purposes. Okay, so when you have all this installed, so I'm going to let me install WordPress. Okay, so we are waiting for that. So it's actually gathering all the database tables, all the files for it to actually work. Okay, and that is it. Okay, so now when the username is cool site, the password is what you chose, and click on login. Okay, so let me type in cool site. Hope you saved your password, by the way. So username cool site and my password, and click login. And that is it, everybody. That is it. It's actually easy to actually install the WordPress on to Xampp and your computer. And if you want to go to the front end of your website, it's just top right here. So I'm just going to click on it and say visit site. It's going to open it. So as you can see, now the 2021 theme is actually running, because that's when this video was recorded. But since it's 2022, we are actually going to have, and if you install the latest version of WordPress, it's actually going to have the latest version of theme, which is 2022. It's quite going to be different from this actually. So as you can see, we have a fully functional WordPress. So I'm just going to click there and go to our dashboard, and I actually do more. Like you can actually download themes and plugins for your WordPress site to actually work fine. So to do that, we have to go to appearance, themes. And so a very quick tip here. So before you actually start with your design, before you actually start with all your designs, what you need to do is actually do a little bit of house cleanup. What I mean is, everything that you don't need, you just delete them. Okay, just like this right here, we have 2021 and we have other ones here. So what you do is just delete everything that you don't need. So I'm just going to click on delete this. Okay, and on this we'll just delete this, so don't ever delete the latest thing. This is 2021, but for you, if you're trying to do this now, it's going to be 2022, so you can actually delete the 2021 version. Okay, so let's continue. So you don't want to delete this, but what I'm going to do, let me add a new theme. Okay, the new theme is cool. Let me add Astra. Let me look for Astra. Okay, so Astra. So we are using Astra because it's probably one of the best free themes that you'll find out there, and it works well with the best WordPress page builder, which is Elementor. So I'm just going to click on activate. So when you use Astra, you can actually do also themes. So what I'm going to do now, you click get started, and so that it will install all the other templates, other plugins that you need for the Astra themes to actually work properly. Okay, so now we need to select our page builder. You can choose any of these because it can actually work well. But Breezy is a great builder, but it's very heavy, so it's going to impact the speed of the website. So I will not recommend it. Gutenberg, I'm not a fan of it. I've not actually used it much. So I'm sure most people that have used it, but I'm not just a fan. You can actually. But Beaver Builder, I don't know much about this actually, but I actually just prefer using Elementor. So I'm just going to click on Elementor. Okay, so all right, so now we have different templates for our website. You can actually install any of these and you actually have your first website running smoothly. So let me just going to choose which one I'm going to choose. Okay, let's see. Let's choose this e-commerce website here. It's organic store. Okay, so I'm just going to go import complete site. So this is actually going to take a while for you to install. So what we're going to do is to import customer settings, import widgets. So this is all it's going to do. So import content, install the plugin. So this is what it's going to do everything for you. Okay. So it's also going to do WooCommerce for you for e-commerce website. So you're going to import all the content and the customization settings. So I'm just going to click on import. So this is going to take a while. So I'm just going to pause this video, and when it's done, I'm just going to come back. It's actually going to take like 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't actually. So, okay. So now, it has imported successfully. But when you are actually importing this, you should actually leave the window the way it is so that you actually finish up. Don't remove the window so that if not, it's going to have like mixed function. So just leave it the way it is and click on visit site. So mine is done. I'm just going to click on visit site. So we are going to let's look at okay, wow. So now we have our first website, WordPress first website. We have installed the Astra themes and we have a beautiful store running that uses WooCommerce and everything is looking amazing. Okay, so now that we have our website ready, so this is just you installing basic theme then that you can actually edit. But if you actually want to build this from scratch, you can actually contact me from the description below so that I'll actually take you to the process of creating your website, like building every page, every section from scratch, like creating the menus, the pages, the buttons, and everything from scratch. You can actually build it to any way you like, any design. I can actually take you all through the process. Okay.
All right, I know that was a lot to take in for a beginner, but if you follow the simple steps I've showed you, you'll definitely get the hang of it. You can also have as many websites as possible on your computer. All you need to just repeat the process right from the part where we copied our WordPress folder into the htdocs folder, then duplicate it and rename it into your desired website name, and just create the database for it, and you are good to go. So if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and also click on the notification icon to get updates whenever we release informative content like this. I am Samson Ugwoke. Keep learning, and